G'day folks, here's my answers to the Metal Tag 2024 questionnaire. G'day folks, Jeff here, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing Metal Tag 2024 responses. This is a yearly thing that I think it used to be done by the Rock Scout. Now Heavy Metallurgy's taken up the challenge, so it's just 20 questions about metal or your collection or something or other, so they just specify those and people can ramble on as much as they like. So yeah, I'll take you through the questions, so yeah, let's get into it. First question is, name a release you're eagerly anticipating in 2024. So I could answer this with, as I did in my previous video, with Spectral Voice or Contaminated, and I'm pretty bloody keen for both of those, but I'll go with the Bramlin. It's an old Melbourne death metal band that are pretty freaking heavy in the, well, every time they've been around, but yeah, they had a bit of a gap in the 2000s, but they're back. They put out a killer album, I don't know, 3 years ago or something or other, which I'm not going to show the cover of because it's a bit rude. But yeah, just heavy as hell death metal. One of the greatest Aussie death metal vocalists around, I reckon. Simon, his roar is just massive. So yeah, very keen for that. There ain't going to be much new stuff on there, I don't think, but I don't know, they're not reinventing the wheel. That's fine by me. So yeah, looking forward to that. They've been following them on Facebook, and it looks like they've finished recording it. So yeah, and also done, no doubt, amusing photography for the cover art. So yeah, it should be good. So yeah, looking forward to a Bramlin. Second question is, Chinese New Year 2024 is the year of the dragon, so post something with the dragon on the cover basically. So, and yeah, all these questions will be below in the description, so I encourage everyone to do their own. But yeah, for my dragon one, I go with Summoning with Let Mortal Heroes Sing Your Fame. And before all the Lord of the Rings nerds get up me and say, that's a Nazgul, it's close enough to a dragon, I don't care. So yeah, this is a killer bloody album. This is probably my favourite Summoning one, or The Boys Looking Evil, love it. So yeah, dragons, or aka Nazguls. Question 3 is, what's the favourite album that you acquired in 2023? Now you could read this as, what's your favourite album of 2023? You can see my other video, no spoilers, to see what I picked for that. But I chose to be what was my favourite purchase. So, because it's my video, I'm doing 3 of them stuff here. So I've gone with some keynote old grind albums that I've managed to get over the years. So Old Lady Drivers, their first album, which is Mosh 7. Carcass Recaputrefaction, which is, I can't remember what Mosh, probably lower than 7, I'd hazard a guess, 6. And not an earache one, but yeah, one of the greatest, Napalm Death Pure sessions. So yeah, came out on something else, Strange Fruit. So yeah, damn good year for your classic grind. So yeah, these are my 3 favourite purchases of shit I've been wanting for quite some time. Question 4 is, was there a title in 2023 that you were satisfied to purchase digitally, not on physical media, and why? And for this I chose Extremely Brutal with their Remaining Afterlife album. This is a project from Dan from Archagathis and half the Canadian grind scene, or mint scene, sorry, and Harlan from Maggot and Bodies Lay Broken and about a lot of other bands. This is their sort of death grindy kind of thing. I'll put a picture of it up, but yeah, basically the reason why I didn't buy it, the CD was only $10, fine by me. Postage to me was $149, so yeah, sorry fellas, I'm a fan, but not that big a fan. So yeah, that didn't get a purchase on that one. I'm not sure if that postage is wrong or just really not very generous from Japan or wherever it's coming from. So yeah, a good bloody album though. Number 5 is, show an album that musically doesn't match the cover art. And for this, I mean, there's plenty of damn fine examples of this, but for this I went with Lubricant with Nucleptia. This is an old Finnish death metal-y sort of band. I don't know if you can see that cover pretty much, but it's a naked guy sitting on a rock for some reason. Yeah, they're a weird Finnish band. They're kind of your death and roll or just rock and death kind of stuff. Very much influenced by Country Mates and Zizmer, I'd say, and yeah, it's weird stuff. I always quite enjoy these guys. My old friend Irene interviewed them in the fanzine, I think. So I actually have to get some earlier stuff of theirs because I think their demo. I mean, this is pretty much all they did other than demos. I think the demos are a little deathier, but this is odd. But yeah, look at that cover art. No idea what's going on there. I don't know where I got this from. It's bloody hacked to buggery there. It's been folded and creased and everything, but oh, it's not a bad little EP. I listened to it yesterday for the first time in probably a decade or so, and yeah, it was enjoyable, but just odd, very odd. Number 6 is who's an artist you own the most items by? I was thinking of counting up my Coffins releases because I've got a lot of them, a lot of Anatomia and a lot of Catatonia, but I'm pretty sure it's Autopsy. I looked through my Discogs and the count was 54 specific items, and that might not include everything. So, yeah, I got a few. Bit of a problem with Autopsy. I like them a lot. Yeah, one of my favourite bands, of course. So I'm bound to buy a lot of stuff of theirs. And I mean, I don't think I own any picture discs of theirs. Just a bit of a failing on my part. So there's plenty more I could buy. I try and get at least one copy of each release. I'm not quite that anal that I go with a million different colours, but sometimes I do. Number 7 is show an album that you blind bought in 2023, so you bought without listening to. So for this, I did an order from Misako and Ojo and grabbed this. This is Morbid Stench with the Rotting Ways of Doom. I think these guys are like Costa Rican or something. There'll be a slightly better review of this in my next collection update one. But yeah, I read the blurb. It came out on Nuclear Winter Records, which is always a damn good sign. It's like the Dead Congregation guys label that generally puts out killer stuff, and description of death doomy sort of stuff. I was like, what the hell? I'll give it a whirl. And yeah, very glad I got this one. Number 8 is show a title that you own in more than one format. Now, I could have easily picked Autopsy for this, but instead I went with Armored Angel, which is a legendary old Canberra sort of death thrash kind of band, mostly around in the sort of late 80s and 90s. Killer band, saw them live a heap of times, nice blokes. So for this I picked their Wings of Death demo, which, yeah, came out in... when did it come out? 89, there you go. So yeah, the versions I have is... this is the old demo series LP version that came out. It's on an English label, I think. This also came out on... what was it? Hell's Headbangers re-released this. I'd definitely pick this one up. It's probably a lot easier than that one. And of course I've got it on a compilation CD called Hymns of Hate that is definitely worth getting if you're more into the CD side of things. This has got pretty much all their sort of Green Brothers era stuff. It's absolutely killer, but of course, and I'm too lazy to get it out of the freaking frame, I got the demo up there at the top middle. So yeah, this is my my good friend Mark made this for me ages ago. This is yeah, just a tape holder for all classic whatever you want to put in it. So I put classic old Aussie demos. Hopefully that horrible Misery one won't get me in trouble, but so yeah, good old Armored Angel. This is absolutely killer demo. Yeah, can't go wrong. Number 9 is Bookworm, show off a release conceptually inspired by literature. Now, there's a ton of different possibilities for this. All sorts of Lovecraftian death metal bands that you could use old HP. There's also Ahab and Mastodon have their nautical sort of themes. Plus, you could pick any summoning album really with all the Lord of the Rings-ness going on there. And plus, of course, Maiden. Although I'm pretty sure Maiden have only got specific songs. I don't know if they've got a whole album that's inspired by one particular release. So for me, I picked Sabbath Dreamweaver. Love this bloody album. This is inspired by The Way of Word by Brian Bates, which I can't say I'm too familiar with other than having read these lyrics quite a bit. So yeah, killer bloody English thrash. One of my favourite albums of all thrash basically. It's just a ripper, complete ripper. Number 10 is name a band you would travel a considerable distance to see live in 2024. There's plenty of damn good bands that I'm still keen to see that I haven't seen before, but for this I'll pick Demolition from Finland. I haven't seen them yet. I'd very much like to before they eventually split up. I did nearly see them, oh god, I can't remember when it was, probably 5 years ago or so. They played California Death Fest in Oakland, or I think it was still in San Fran then. And yeah, I had it sort of booked with my manager at the time, then I changed managers and he just went, no, you're not going. So I had my whole trip booked. I was going to be a complete fanboy and follow Demolition around for like 3 other club gigs that they did, all of which I had tickets to, of course, because it's kind of handy being able to plan a trip the other side of the world just all online and book everything. So thankfully I got my accommodation and stuff back, and I don't think I'd actually booked flights, so that wasn't a problem. But yeah, lost out on some tickets here and there and didn't get to see bloody Demolition. So yeah, up yours, old manager. Number 11 is Soured Grapes. Show a 2023 release that you enthusiastically purchased but eventually lost interest in. Now, originally for this I was going to do Torture Rack, but I listened to it again the other day and went, oh shit, this is bloody good. Why haven't I been listening to this all year? I don't know. They're a band that I saw live in Portland a couple of years ago, and they're absolutely killer. But on CD, they've never quite, or record, they've never quite clicked for me, to tell the truth. Live, it was just so much better. And plus, killer cover art by Rock from Sad X, so can't go wrong there. So, yeah, my actual choice that I ended up with being, and this might make a few people mad, but Gridlink with Coronet Juniper. It's good. It's pretty bloody good. But it's too melodic. It's not grindy, nasty enough for my liking. There's too many nice little bits that aren't really grind. That, sure, they got blast beats underneath them and stuff, but yeah, it's just too nice. I mean, it has killer beats. They obviously know what they're doing. Plus, honestly, yeah, John gets a bit samey with his vocals after a while. It's like, hey, you can do something other than one type of scream. Anyway, yeah, so I'm still happy I've got it. It's still not a bad album, but yeah, didn't quite grab me as much as when I first heard it, and I still prefer the earlier ones than this, and I probably still prefer Discordance Axis anyway, but yeah, anyway. Number 12 is The Golden Child. Name an artist you feel could do no wrong. For this, I chose Catatonia. They've got a whole lot of different variety over the years. I mean, I could have picked Autopsy, but all their stuff sounds like Autopsy, whereas Catatonia have changed quite a bit over the years. But I love all eras, to tell the truth. I mean, there's some albums I don't love quite as much as others, but they're still freaking killer albums. So yeah, I'm always looking forward to see what they do next. They're definitely one of my faves. They're the highest on my Last FM ranking for artists that I've listened to, so that's for a reason. There's grind bands on there that have like 60-song albums, and even they're not as high as Catatonia, so obviously they're doing something right if I listen to them that much. So yeah, that's my golden child, Catatonia. Number 13 is Overstayed Welcome. Name a band that you wish that had quit while they were ahead. And my initial thoughts of this were Metallica, of course, because yeah. Up to Justice, everything after. And also AC/DC, like Up to Highway to Hell when poor Bon died. But then we wouldn't have the Black Album and Back in Black, both of which sold over 30 million copies. They were doing something right. So in the end, I went with Morbid Angel. Mainly because of their Illud Divinium Insanus album, the I album, the crap one. Maybe it's just too extreme for me, who knows. Yeah, I'll put a picture of it up because I don't actually own this and don't really intend to own it, although I'm kind of sad I didn't buy it. I remember seeing the stupid box set that came with like candles and a little altar and all this crap that people burned or smashed. I remember seeing it cheap and thinking, I probably should buy that just for a laugh, but no. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some purely metal songs on there that aren't terrible. They're not that much worse than Heretic, and Heretic's probably not my favourite either of theirs, but it's still pretty good though, and yeah, Illud is not pretty good. But really, it's the bad ones, the Too Extreme, I Am Morbid, Destructos versus the Earth, and of course, Radicult, which I had to re-listen. I re-listened to that for you, just for this bloody video, and that song sucks. Yeah, those dancey techno-y, don't know what the hell's going on. It's almost rapping on Radical. It's horrid stuff. The vocals are just... Anyway. Although, honestly, I do kind of like that Destructos versus the Earth, mainly because I've watched those stupid videos of either goths dancing or... What's the other one? Oh, the Star Wars Holiday something or other. Mainly because I've watched those videos so many times, don't mind that song, actually. But, and, yeah, when honestly, Kingdom's Disdain, the album after, isn't really that hard, but I just wanted to bag out Illid, because it's shit. So, yeah, there's my, that's my band. I wish they called it quits. I'm not even a huge Gateways fan. I could have handled if they just quit after Formulas, because I do very much like Formulas. But, yeah, Morbid Angel. Number 14 is show a band release that you bought in 2023 that was a direct result of watching someone's YouTube channel. This one I'll give shout out to Simon from Explosive Action. This is Astriferous with Pulsations from the Black Orb. Yeah, I got, probably much like Simon, completely suckered by the artwork, but it's a freaking killer death metal album. This is the Costa Rican one. I think the other one, Morbid Stench, a Brazilian, sorry. Yeah, this is a great bloody album, and yeah, I may have been completely suckered by that cover art as well, but yeah, I was very happy to pick this one up. So this only just didn't make my top 20 albums of the year, so yeah, good props to this one. Number 15 is show us an otherwise good album that suffers from being too long. For this I chose Nazem with Inhale Exhale. So yeah, this is like 38 songs, 45 minutes long, which is pretty bloody long for a grind album, I gotta say. Don't get me wrong, I love this bloody album. It's killer, it's very intense, and possibly 45 minutes of this level of intensity is a bit much, I think. So yeah, that's my choice. As I said, killer bloody album. I've got no problems with it, but usually I probably only make it about halfway through before my attention wanes. Alright, number 16 is show your favourite band shirt, and yeah, I'm sitting back so I can hold these up because I couldn't pick just one really. So I love band shirts. I have a lot of boxes full of them, let alone ones hanging up. So let's go through the list. First up, nice little Impaled Nazarene tour shirt with the charming Smoke, Crack and Worship Satan. This is from their 1999 tour of Australia, which has even got sleeve prints. Armageddon 1999. So yeah, killer gig. Total white noise. Yeah, it was hilarious. You could pretty much only work out what was going on based on the vocals and drums. But next up, the old War Master long sleeve from it's my good mate Jess bought me this in whenever that was, 1991 in America when he got lucky to see him. I'm just still bloody jealous. So yeah, this one's well worn. Yeah, I've loved that one forever. Speaking of earache, good old Symphonies of Sickness, classic sleeve print. This is another very worn one. This has definitely seen better days. And if any of these look creased, it's because they have been in boxes because they've shrunk. Or maybe I've expanded. This is my classic Bloodduster Hippie Kill Team shirt. Another one that I wore a lot. Somewhat ridiculous one, but what the hell. What else we got here? And let's pull out the big guns. This one I have a lot of my shirts on T-shirt Slayer, and this one has gotten me a few people trying to buy it for a decent amount of money, to tell the truth. This is, and it's not really even that exciting a shirt. This is Disembowelment with Transcendence into the peripheral, long sleeve with the Killer D logo on the sleeve. On the back has that, I don't know, somewhat tacky, as if it's like a movie with all the, the usual credits that you get for a movie for some reason. But I love this bloody shirt. A hell of a lot of it is because of the I love that D logo. But yeah, this is a killer bloody shirt. This next one's a tad rude. I did wear this the first time I saw Autopsy. I was very pleased. It doesn't probably fit me too well anymore, but and yeah, this is a bit rude. So just a warning, kiddies, look away. This is Autopsy with yeah, spinal extractions. I'm sure is possibly the name it should be based on their lyrics, but and this charming back print of vomit on the nearest arsehole. Love it. I must admit I never wore this shirt around too much. not around public, maybe to gigs and stuff. So yeah, bloody awesome. And that's my favourite Autopsy logo as well. They've got a batch over the years, but that's the top one for me. So yeah, but that said, my actual favourite shirt, which is another one that's shrunk over the years, I couldn't actually find because I couldn't get to some of the boxes of the back. So I'll put a picture of it up. It's an Autopsy Mental Funeral long sleeve from well back in the day, which is very well worn. I've worn that a lot of times, but that's what I want to be buried in. So yeah, I'd rather not be buried straight away, but that's what I do want to eventually be buried in. I don't care if people are going to cut it up. As long as it's on me, I'm happy with that, because yeah, favourite death metal album, and just love that shirt. The peaceful logos down the side and their logos, just killer. I think I got a t-shirt of that somewhere as well, so but anyway, as you can tell, I love my t-shirts and I got a lot. This section could have been a lot longer, I'd say, but anyway. Actually, I forgot one more. I had a pile of them. This is a classic. Nuclear Assault, Hang the Pope. I don't think it actually says Hang the Pope on there, but yeah, you get the picture. So yeah, this one is another one that my old mate Jess gave me when he no longer needed it. So there's no way this is going to fit me. This is a quite an old cool one, but yeah, I love that. That design's so ridiculous. Number 17 is share a band that has been around for at least 24 years that you think is still going strong, creatively relevant. I was actually going to pick Autopsy with this, but I always bloody pick them. So I'm going to steal Roger's idea of Immolation, because they still friggin' kick ass as well. They're still going strong. Their stuff has changed a bit over the years, but I like the change actually. I think my favourite is still Unholy Cult. Just that or Close to a World Below. I think Unholy Cult simplified it. That's where they sort of simplified their style a bit after that. But yeah, the new album's bloody awesome as well. That's a impressive band. I'm hoping they tour Australia again, because I've seen them a few times over the years and they never disappoint. But yeah, they're still going strong. I don't know how they're still singing about how much God pisses them off, but oh well. Must be a well of inspiration there for them. Number 18 is share your favourite band mascot, and I think I'll probably go with what most people will probably go with. Originally I was thinking the Creator, sort of demon-y looking thing, because, hey, cover of Pleasure to Kill is so bloody good. But how can you go past Eddie? I mean, this is pretty much my first proper heavy metal album, other than Twisted Sister, which is still heavy metal, but this is heavier. I still love this album, still listen to it very regularly, and yeah, I've stared at that cover for a long time. You know, I used to have heaps of Maiden posters on my wall. I mean, he's very, very usable, and this is probably my favourite cover art with him. This or Stranger in a Strange Land. Love that sort of era. I mean, how can you go wrong with Eddie? He's bloody iconic. So yeah, I suspect most people will answer that. I'd love to see any stats on if anyone picked anyone else, but yeah, it's going to be Eddie. It ain't going to be Not Man. Number 19 is Grab Bag. Share a random pull from your collection, no peeking. For this one, I know where everything is on my shelves, so even if I reached in a random area where I knew my Destruction records are, yeah, I'm not doing that. So I went with random number generator in my Discogs account. So sure enough, picked a page, then picked the number on the page, and came up with, oh, surprise, Australian death metal. This is Cauldron Black Ram from South Australia. This is like Damon and Denny from Stargazer, and I think they were in Portal for a while, and half of the other South Australian bands. This is their death metal, caveman-y kind of nice and simple death metal. I love it. Just sort of kind of sludgy, and yeah. This is their 2011 EP that came out on Parasitic Records. I slightly prefer their Skullduggery album, but this is my second favourite, I'd say. 4 songs, killer stuff. It's an underrated band, I reckon, called From Black Ram. Really enjoy them. The last question is, show an album from a metal band that others may not consider metal. Now, I'm sure a lot of people will just pick, your Deep Purples and those sort of bands, like your hard rock sort of metal kind of bands, but I kind of went a different way with this one, and this really isn't metal, but it's freaking metal as hell. the Conan soundtrack by Basil Polidorus. Yes, from the Conan the Barbarian movie, just the soundtrack. Yeah, as I said, no distorted guitar, no guitar at all. It's all classical stuff, but far out. The first couple of songs are so powerful. Anvil of Crom, and then Riddle of Steel and Riders of Doom is just very powerful stuff. Probably quite inspirational for a lot of bands over the years as well, I'd say, but yeah. Plus, one of my favourite movies, what the hell? This is metal as hell, this bloody album. Well, that was my 20 responses to the 2024 Metal Tag. Thanks again to Heavy Metallurgy for setting that one up. Some good questions in there. I enjoyed that. So, yeah, feel free to do your own one. All the questions are below. I'll also put a link to any of the bands that I feel you should have a link to. Definitely check out Extremely Brutal. That was a killer release. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.